Hi everybody, I'm Teresa Path and I am the head chef here at ALG Quaran-team. We have quite a team here doing all the best things we can to keep you guys healthy and happy and safe while we're learning. We're working in the kitchen today because, you know, we're not going stir crazy at all, not one bit. So we're in here to stir up some fun things for you in the kitchen today to keep your mind on healthy things. And I know we mentioned that we were going to talk about herbal magic today. So a dear friend of ours brought us some fresh herbs from the farmer's market and we were so excited. You know, it's really wonderful in stressful times to stop and focus on some of the natural beauty around us. One of my favorite things to do, I wanted to share with you today, is if I start to feel anxious, I choose to be mindful in the moment. And fresh ingredients in the kitchen are a great way to do that. And I'll tell you why. You can engage all 5 of your senses to help you feel centered and calm. For instance, you get some fresh herbs, you can see the beautiful green colors, you can smell the scent. When I was outside bringing the herbs in, I could hear the wind in the trees and the birds singing, and it just reminded me that life is good and life goes on. So let's make the best of our time right now here in the kitchen. I have some fun goodies to share with you. Just going to do a little show and tell. And Louise is busy working on her latest manuscript, which I can't wait to read. You guys are going to love it. She is digging deep into radical longevity and learning all kinds of amazing things to share with us for us to be able to live a long and healthy and radically vibrant life. So that's something to look forward to in the future. So right now I wanted to tell you some of the herbal things that are helping us to feel healthy and calm right now. And just to remind you, some of the things we love so much that we had kind of forgotten about are simple things like chamomile tea. Brew up a nice warm cup of chamomile tea. We are loving spearmint and mint, which are so calming for the digestive system. And one of Aunt Louise's favorites right now is Celestial Seasonings Red Zinger tea. This, my kids grew up with Red Zinger. We used to fix it in the mornings. It's high in vitamin C, full of antioxidants. And just wanted to remind you, always do the best you can. You might not be able to do absolutely everything organic right now, and that's okay. There are still many healthy choices out there, so just pick the best you can. I'm also going to share a couple of great recipes with you today that are so much fun to do in the kitchen. So one of our favorites, and Louise is loving this on the table every night right now, is a very simple dressing. It's made with olive oil, fresh lemon juice, and mustard, some dried mustard. Once in a while we'll put in a little bit of horseradish. Horseradish is another wonderful ingredient to use right now. Touch of sea salt. And then we put in some fresh dill from the garden or dried dill. I will put the recipes for you later on at the end of, we'll post them for you so you guys can try them out. This also doubles as a great marinade. And a really fun tip is to take a piece of chicken or fish. You can put some of this marinade or dressing in your pan and just heat it on low, slowly braise your fish or your chicken in it. Just ladle the dressing from the pan over it as it's cooking and it turns out, oh, just really sweet, delicious. So I wanted to tell you too why we choose the dried herbs and spices that we do. We love this brand. Let me see here. We have, it's an organic 365. We use some other organic brands too, and the reason is, let's see, I wanted to try to see, but I don't have my glasses on. Hang on, glasses time. You're just hanging out here in the kitchen with me, so there we go. Okay, Central Market did this one. We had another one, another Central Market. You want organic spices is my point, because they are not irradiated as many of the spices you might find on regular spices on the shelf. So pay attention to that. And let's see. I want to put in a plug for our wonderful new recipe book, Radical Recipes. I unashamedly plug this recipe book because I love it so much. It's a simple download, inexpensive, but if you're bored or you just need some fresh ideas and ways to stretch things, this is a great resource for you. You'll find the link below where you can purchase it. But the reason I wanted to mention it to you today is there's just a lovely section in there about how to pair fresh fruits with herbs. Sometimes the simplest is the best and most elegant thing you can do. You want a little refreshing dessert, something special. Here's an example right here. I've got some blueberries and I picked some fresh mint and just mixed the mint in with the blueberries. You can serve it this way, or you can muddle it. Take your blueberries and your mint, chop up the mint in there and just kind of muddle it, and it's almost like a little fresh sorbet. It makes a great sauce too. You'll find tons of ideas like that in there, which brings me to your next fun recipe for today. These are like the simplest cookies ever in the whole world. Easy to do, kids love to make them, and I'll post the recipe for you. But look at how simple this is. This is 2 cups of ground almonds or almond meal, almond flour, and we're just going to pour the 2 cups in. Something I wanted to tell you about, oftentimes when we make this recipe, we use the Lakanto maple syrup that you've heard us talk about so much, but Louise gave me permission to do something special today because we just needed to spread a little comfort and a little cheer. So we are using an organic maple syrup, natural maple syrup, which is very high in minerals. It's actually very healthy for you. And interestingly, there's research that shows that pure maple syrup is actually lower on the glycemic level than honey. And so it's even better for diabetics or just anybody really. Besides, you know, it's delicious, so we shouldn't forget that part. So we just pour in 1/3 of a cup of our maple syrup. Just pour it right in there. You don't have to sift or be fancy about it at all. And we just use 1/2 a teaspoon of baking powder. Now I want to mention, please always make sure you buy aluminum-free baking powder. It's so much healthier, and it actually is available in all grocery stores these days. It used to be harder to find, and you used to get it at the health food store, but it's readily available now. So you just sprinkle in 1/2 a teaspoon of your baking powder. And then, this is really fun. This is something else that Louise and I love to do to spice things up, but Simply Organic makes wonderful vanilla, but also we have almond extract. And almond extract is surprising. You can put it into a recipe and you could almost swear that you put sweetener in there, but you didn't necessarily. It just enhances the flavor, gives it a little something extra special. So you could use 2 teaspoons of vanilla, or today I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of almond extract. And I hope you can see me as I wander around here a little bit in my kitchen. All right, we'll just measure this way. This is a 1/2 teaspoon measure. You want 2 teaspoons of your vanilla or your almond extract. There you go. That's it. That's all the ingredients. Just stir it all together until it begins to combine and form into a dough. Then you might as well have some real fun and get your hands in there. So I will be appropriate and put on my nifty kitchen gloves here for this part, but I just want to show you how easy this is. And when you mix up a batch, wait till you smell it baking in the kitchen. There go the gloves. Okay, so all you really do is take the dough, get a nice little batch about this big, whatever size you want your cookies to be. Press it on your parchment-lined baking sheet. Bake them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. That's if you want a really soft, chewy cookie. If you'd like it to be a little more firm, a little bit crunchy, leave it in about 12 minutes. You want to watch it though, because almond flour can brown too quickly if you leave it in there too long. Simple, easy peasy. So now, for a little more fun with our herbal magic theme, I have this most wonderful pineapple sage. Now normally you would think of pineapple sage in a savory recipe. For instance, it's excellent with chicken or with salmon, fish dishes. But I chopped up a little bit of pineapple sage, which I'm just going to sprinkle in here into the dough and bake it that way. Some other fun ideas would be you could put peppermint or spearmint. And here's a fun little tip that people don't often think about. If you're out of herbs in the kitchen, but you happen to have some peppermint tea or spearmint tea, you can actually just open up the tea bag and pour that tea right in, mix it in like fresh herbs. You'll be surprised how wonderful it tastes when it's baked in things. So, here we go with my little pineapple sage cookies. You can just have a grand old time experimenting. You could make sort of like snickerdoodles. Add a little, we like to use the Lakanto monk fruit golden when we have it. Just sprinkle on there and some cinnamon. But even if you only sprinkled some cinnamon and some nutmeg, then it smells so wonderful and it's so comforting and kids love them. So there you have it, 2 simple recipes. Both this recipe for your dressing is high in vitamin C, great immune supporting kind of a thing to make and use on all sorts of things. So let's see, is there anything else I need to tell you about today? Mostly, we just want you to know that we're thinking of you. We hope you are doing well, and we are always so grateful that you join us here in the kitchen. Thank you.